The FTX.
FTX.
FTX. Coin and other cryptocurrencies are falling.
Have I seen such a complete failure of corporate controls and such a complete absence?
Sam Bankman-Fried is the devil. He is the devil in crypto. You liar! You lie, Sam Bankman-Fried.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time we have a conversation because you gambling motherfuckers are going to continue losing unless you get your shit straight.
1, 2, 3.
What am I talking about? I'm talking about crypto. This idea that you can make money out of thin air exists only in a vacuum and only in a bubble. If you're caught with your pants down, which is the situation most of you guys are in right now, you end up getting screwed. And you end up getting screwed very bad. We saw it just happen with FTX, which is why I'm doing this video. Since I've been here over half a decade, I really understand how the space works and how to succeed in it. So to give you a little bit of context, my name is Belmar. I've been in crypto since 2016. In 2020, I put my entire net worth into crypto. I went on to 40x my net worth in a span of 18 months. In fact, I was the 10th largest holder of PancakeSwap, one of the most prominent DeFi ecosystems in the world. Now, it became extremely popular because of SafeMoon, right? We know the SafeMoon scam, right? The pump and dump, where basically you would have this fee of buying and selling that then would be transferred and redistributed to everybody. And it was a crazy hype and all the influencers got on it. I remember one of the founders of FaZe Clan reached out and sent me a DM. He's like, hey, what do you think about SafeMoon? Short, you know, of course, the guy that plays video games and that's out here, you know, running an organization, things of this nature, he's not looking at crypto on a daily basis. Therefore, I knew it was the top. I decided to sell my entire PancakeSwap position and I owned 1% of the supply. I entered it sub $20 million market cap and I sold it at like $2.6 billion market cap. I got pretty rich. In 2017, we had BitConnect.
BitConnect managed to siphon over $2 billion of investor funds.
BitConnect.
Everybody obviously knew that BitConnect was a scam. Everybody. I was even tempted to put money into BitConnect because I was like, I probably won't be the last sucker, right? And within a month, right, that's usually what the lock period was, it collapsed. And it collapsed crypto for 3 to 4 years, which is what is happening right now. I want to level with you guys. I want to level with you guys because I've come to realize that there is an existential problem in crypto and in people. And what is that problem? That problem is the idea of making money, right? Or printing money or investing money and receiving something in return with no work. This is obviously a scam. This notion that you can give somebody money and they'll give you 20% return APY, Anchorage, Luna. We talked about this. You saw this BlockFi, Celsius. It's not real. Now, if a bank like JP Morgan that basically owns everything in the world can give you 0.01%, right? Because they understand the liabilities of giving returns on money. Why would Anchor Protocol give you 20% on your UST stablecoin? The situation that we're in, created by Sam Bankman-Fried, created by the SEC, created by Alameda Research, and created by a ton of bad actors in crypto, has put us in a really bad situation. I don't fuck with crypto. In fact, I've removed all of my money from crypto. And the reason I've done that is because the people that are currently playing the game, that are running the game, they're no different than the bankers. They're no different than the politicians. They're no different than the people that are washing, laundering money, creating, pumping, and dumping the markets. They're the same white collar guys with their nice black ties, pretending to be of the people, and in reality, they're just there to take every penny from you. So today I want to talk about why I don't fuck with crypto anymore, why you should stay away from crypto, why it is currently a potential liability in the markets, and what is my game plan moving forward in this space. The reason I say this is because I spotted a circumstance in a situation where I saw a lot of people being stupid. And when people are stupid, you can make money. Because I remember, you know, a year ago when Bitcoin was 59,000, going on live on Instagram, 1,000, 2,000 people watching me Instagram live and telling people, sell your fucking crypto. If you go on my highlights, you'll be able to in fact see me telling people, hey, I'm fucking tired. It's 2, 3 in the morning, but I wanted to warn you guys, start pulling some money because this does not look right. So I know what I'm talking about. I understand the space. I understand how crypto works, and I understand the ebbs and flows of the market. In fact, I even called the Luna short. I told everybody, hey, it's time to short Luna when it was at $106. I proceeded to do a 400x return on that play. It was savage. And the reason I was able to predict it was because, like I showed you from the video before, random people were telling others on Twitter, on TikTok, that there was this yield protocol that would give you 20%. Who the fuck are these kids on Twitter, on TikTok, giving you financial advice, dude? Why the fuck are you listening to these clowns? You don't know them. It's a random fucking profile photo that has a Naruto character on it, giving you financial advice, and you're out here buying and selling shit based off what that person tells you because they have followers. What if it was a hedge fund? What if it was a bank? What if it was fucking North Korea, dude? It was Kim Jong-un out here tweeting, short this shit, buy this shit, and creating bots to run that. I know how the space works. You can make markets when shit's worth $50 million. I genuinely believe the only reason crypto went up this bull run, not just because the Fed printed trillions of dollars, but also because we had a Ponzi scheme. And this Ponzi scheme propped up crypto in such a way that it caused people to believe that there was demand that wasn't really there. It was artificial. I want to introduce to you the example of scam bankman fraud. The vegan soy boy who pledged all of his money, just like George Soros and Bill Gates, to COVID relief, to pandemic prevention, and climate change. Sounds familiar, right? Well, he pledged all of his money that really didn't belong to him. How do I know so? Well, because he created a coin called FTT. FTT was the exchange token of FTX, SBF's second company. The first company, Alameda Research, created in 2017, was responsible for arbitrage, market making, trading, things of this nature. So right off the bat, 2017, you have this guy that gets funded by who knows where to arbitrage Bitcoin, right? Okay, he's arbitraging Bitcoin. Where did he get his initial 30, 40, 50 million dollars to arbitrage? Nobody fucking knows. And then on the second hand, an exchange called FTX, the most insanely pro-regulation exchange in the world. I was like, damn, like this guy's really going in. But then he had a video that sketched me out. He had a video with a guy called Nas Daily.
M has $22 billion and he wants to donate all of it to charity.
And in this video, Nas proceeds to explain that this billionaire wants to give away all of his money. Now, here's the thing about altruism. Altruism doesn't take into account power. It doesn't take into account corruption. It doesn't take into account greed. It is simply a word. Now, we all know the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And maybe this SBF kid started with good intentions, but I don't think so. And the reason I don't think so is because of his political affiliations, his relationships to the SEC, and the co-workers that he decided to get involved with. It seemed like a lot of pre-planned insider piracy, a Trojan horse, if you will. So FTX is created, Sam decides to print FTT, and then decides to invest into companies, DeFi protocols, yield pools, and convince people to list FTT as a collateral pair. So what would Alameda Research do? They would ask FTX for a loan, right? A loan in FTT. Then they would go, take that FTT, put it into DeFi pools, and in return, receive a loan of USDC, USDT, some sort of stablecoin. They would then proceed to put that money back into FTX as trading capital, and was most likely some sort of wash trading or embezzlement. So now you see, even the most regulated exchanges are not very transparent, which tells you we have a fundamental problem with the marketplace. So part one, don't be stupid. How are you not stupid in this market? Well, first you understand that not your keys, not your crypto. This is a term we often use in the crypto space, whereby you are not a custodian of your tokens because you have them on a centralized exchange, you have them staked in some sort of protocol, or maybe you have it on some internet hot wallet like MetaMask. Even though you have some protection on there, I wouldn't trust MetaMask either, because MetaMask is owned by a company called Consensus, which we know to be a highly corrupt organization whose CEO is the co-founder of Ethereum. He's in bed with all the governments, he's in bed with all the banks. Well, all you have to do is look at the people that invested in Consensus, the parent company of MetaMask, and you'll find out. So the most secure way is to have it offline, but then it doesn't really make any sense, because the idea of digital assets is your ability to live online. And if you're safe keeping it like gold, might as well just have gold. And the reason I'm okay saying that, people are like, well, you can't transport it from place A to place B. It'll be very difficult. Sure it will. But fucking Bitcoin, dude, went from 69K all the way to 15K in a span of a year. And gold did not do that. Sure, gold went down a little bit, but it didn't take 80%. So yeah, even though gold went down, gold was pretty much a hedge against inflation, especially considering the fact that we printed trillions and trillions of dollars. So here we have FTX loaning fake currency to receive in return some sort of pegged currency like USDC, and then investing into companies at will, whether it's DeFi protocols, whether it's real world companies like NAS Academy, or buying out companies that are in a bad situation like BlockFi or Voyager, and telling us that they're solvent and that they are profitable, which was a complete lie. So now when Alameda Research begins to lose their trades and begins to make bad investments, FTX loans out more capital to bail them out. Not only did it try to bail them out, but in fact, I believe, and I think it'll soon be revealed, that SBF's investments were actually investments into other shell companies that he owned. If you look at all the companies that this little financial crypto criminal syndicate put together, a lot of these companies have 1 to 10 employees, no website, some bullshit lander, no social media presence, no activity. I genuinely believe SBF and a group of pirates, call them digital pirates, put this plan together long ago. This is not some low-level peasant shit. I genuinely believe, knowing how the world works, that this thing was thought out well in advance. So I not only think that SBF stole money from exchanges, that he used customer funds to buy out some bullshit, to trade and potentially make money back, but I also believe that he embezzled money with his team and invested into fake bullshit companies that were actually him and his team in the background. This is the perfect way to embezzle funds, especially knowing that SBF's parents are Stanford lawyers that understand legal structure, that understand how to operate to make sure that everything is protected and safeguarded. There's a reason this guy is living in the Bahamas, and it ain't because it's the nicest place on earth. Let alone to mention that FTX bought $70 million worth of real estate in the Bahamas, while they posted photos on Instagram and on Twitter of SBF sleeping on a beanbag saying, "This is male peak performance." You need to understand what propaganda is, and you need to understand that this idea of Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates not wearing a Gucci belt and not wearing a designer shirt that's visible to you is some sort of propaganda strategy to normalize these billionaires, where in fact they're out here buying islands, spending your money, spending tens of millions of dollars of customer funds purchasing real estate. And now they're in a situation where they can just be like, "Oh, fuck it, I declare bankruptcy, but everything we did was sort of legal, and yeah, we may have some financial issues, and 1 guy, 2 guys may go to jail, but the money's still gone. Somebody has the money, but you don't." Imagine being worth $48 billion, right? Being valued at $48 billion with basically no reputation whatsoever. It was all fabricated. Fugazi, famous, smoke and mirrors. But of course, the autistic kid that has body odor, looks like an ogre, sleeps on a beanbag, and has the hair of a clown, he's credible because he ain't driving a Lambo and he's not cocky, and he wants to invest all of his money with the brokies, and he wants to give all of his money to poor people. He's definitely not. There's no way that he's a scam, but I refuse to believe that people do everything for everybody else. I refuse to believe it. Even if you are doing nonprofit work, you're doing it because it makes you feel some sort of way. If you ran a nonprofit organization and you fucking hated it, and you were depressed and suicidal and you had no life purpose from it, you wouldn't do it. So there's some sort of internal perspective whereby you're receiving something in return, whether it's gratification, whether it's money. So this idea that you can just build a $40 billion company and just give it all away is ridiculous. There's this video that surfaced on the internet of SBF having an interview where he's asked, "Oh, they're comparing you to JP Morgan. Is that bother you?" He's like, "Oh, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. Ain't no fucking JP Morgan."
Companies, and you were called the JP Morgan of crypto.
Yep.
Did that bother you or did not?
It doesn't bother me too much. I mean, I think it's something I felt was the right thing for the industry.
You are a con artist, just like Danielle Sistelli from Wonderland Time, just like Suzu from 3 Arrow Capital and his partner, just like Do Kwon from Luna and Terra and UST, just like all the scammers from BitConnect, just like the Pixelmon NFT project that minted $70 million and ended up being some bullshit. There will be more, and you need to be prepared because people will fall for it, and your ability to capitalize on the opportunity will set you apart. So we know, if you don't want to be stupid, not your keys, not your crypto. Do not listen to people at face value, and just because they play a persona doesn't mean that that is reality. Sun Tzu says that the art of war is the art of deception. If you can beat your enemy or kill your enemy, like SBF tried to or is killing the crypto space, the best way to do it is through lies and deception. Now, a lot of you guys know a guy called BitBoy Crypto. BitBoy Crypto has been talking about this shit for a while. He literally says SBF is the devil. And in fact, he was right. He saw the Trojan horse, and I applaud him for it. Not only are we in a situation where people are stupid, But you also have the situation where, just like I did with Luna, you are able to monetize people's stupidity. So when the next crypto bull run rolls around, and I think we probably have one before the entire reset of the financial system takes place, you need to be able to capitalize on people's stupidity. So when Luna was at $106, I put in a phenomenal short, proceeded to make $2.9 million on that trade in the span of 5 to 6 days, while people lost hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm a little bit upset I didn't make more money on that trade because I should have. I should have genuinely made more money, probably like 60, but I didn't, which tells me I did not capitalize on people's stupidity well enough. Now, I was in a situation, I'll tell you guys how I capitalized on it and how I got fucked by the whole FTX thing. So I had $120,000 on FTX. I'm flying Emirates. I'm going from Dubai all the way to Singapore. During the flight, I'm following the entire FTX scenario, starting with Binance CEO CZ talking about, hey, we're about to sell our FTT because it doesn't sound good, to seeing the tweet Binance where they're potentially buying FTX exchange. I knew it was a bluff. I think the reason he did that was to minimize a potential bank run on Binance and to give a feeling that they were liquid enough to buy FTX, but in reality had no intention whatsoever to buy it. So when that tweet goes out, the BNB coin, which is Binance exchange token and Binance ecosystem token, goes up, and I think it's about like $350 or something along those lines, which is pretty much the top of BNB. I decided to put a $700,000 short on BNB because I predicted on my Twitter that CZ would come back and say, hey, we're not buying it. And that would draw to the meltdown of FTX, whereby I had $120,000 on that exchange, but I knew that I had to be able to bounce back and pivot from that situation. So I decided to short BNB. CZ then does exactly what I predicted that he was going to do because I understand that the masses thought differently. And BNB token proceeds to go down all the way to like $250. I sell at about $260. and make $170,000 to make up for my bullshit FTX loss and be in profit for that day. So yes, I was stupid. I left money on an exchange, but I capitalized on people's stupidity and was able to make up for the mistake. But imagine all the people that did have all of their eggs in that basket, all of the employees that got fucked, all the employees that got finessed, all the funds, the hedge funds, the pensions, the organizations that had all of their money in there. They faced a really bad situation. So moral of the story, ladies and gentlemen, is don't be stupid. Don't trust people at face value. Don't be in a situation where you're compromising your funds. This is the wild fucking West. People are here to take your lunch. People are here to take your money. People are here to loot. People are savages. And if you think something's changed with human nature and that for some reason it's different nowadays, you're mistaken. You don't understand human nature, because if you did, you would be able to bypass all the bullshit and capitalize on winning situations. Because just like you can understand the human nature of a bad individual and a scammer, you can also understand it of people that fall victims to it. It's the psychosis of the masses. And I capitalized on the psychosis of the masses many times, on the way up and on the way down. And I will continue to do it, because it's proven time and time and time again in history that where most of the crowd goes ends up leading to destruction. Now, most of you guys probably don't read the Bible, but there is an interesting verse in the Bible that says, wide is the path that leads to destruction and many walk it, but narrow, right, is the path that leads to salvation. So everybody, where everybody's mostly headed, is most likely the wrong situation, because most people are dumb. The crowd mentality, the mob mentality, they have no logic, they have no reason, they operate fully out of emotion. And you have the ability to harness that emotion, that energy, capture it, and get fucking rich off of it. So if you lost money on FTX, I'm sorry, I didn't see it coming. Nobody really saw it coming unless you're probably part of the insiders. People were caught off guard, and it's normal. I understand, it's a really bad situation. And I sympathize with you, because truly, it was one of those scenarios where this shit was so well orchestrated, right? It wasn't just, oh, we're kind of rolling with it. No, this shit was orchestrated that it tricked even the most intelligent and savvy investors like Kevin O'Leary and others. Point two is you need to be able to deploy your money at the right time in the right situation in order to maximize the stupidity of others. Not being stupid is not enough. You also have to be able to capitalize on the stupidity of others. And I'm not talking about abusing others. I'm not talking about you building a scam product and convincing people that it's a good product like FTX. I'm talking about a genuine situation whereby you tell people, hey, I'm shorting Bitcoin at 59,000 because it's the top. It's ridiculous. This thing's pumped up. It's false. It's propped up by bullshit. It's propped up by Tether and air, and people don't listen. Just like Noah's Ark. It doesn't matter how much you tell people it's gonna rain, people will still laugh at you and continue doing their own thing. that doesn't mean you don't get on the arc. So sit down. If you genuinely got affected by this, directly or indirectly, sit down, pull out a piece of paper, pull out a pen. And when these emotions, this very raw moment that you're going through, you must be able to write down your thoughts and think in this fresh moment about the mistakes and about the things you should have done differently. So that the next time it happens, because it will, you can capitalize on it. I wanted to make this spontaneous video. You know, I'm here in Singapore. I'm supposed to be out here riding Lambos and go-karting and smoking cigars and doing this shit. But I wanted to kind of break away from the regular schedule and make this video for you guys because I thought it would be important. I thought it would be important to give you guys some clarity from somebody who's actually succeeded in this space, who's done extremely well in this space. And for you to understand that what has happened in the past will happen again, right? There have been grifters since the dawn of man. And if you think there's not gonna be scammers in this space, then you're wrong. How in the world would you be intelligent enough to put your money on something called Wonderland Time that gives you 10,000% APY and at the bottom calculates your APY by Lambos? Oh, well, if you keep your APY this long, this is how many Lambos you're gonna be able to get. It's like the dumbest shit in the world, dude. It's not a financial structure that's sustainable. And all you're doing is playing hot potato. You're gambling. And when you gamble, remember, the house never loses. So be intelligent. Don't put your eggs all in one basket. Capitalize on people's stupidity. Capitalize on the mass psychosis. And when these situations arise again, you will be victorious. I hope this video was of value to you guys. You know, I wanted to level in a personal way because I know how many people got affected, and I wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit of a different message, you know, than the average, well, this is the current events or whatever. I don't really want to talk about the data points specifically because you guys can do your research as you should. But I want to talk to you guys on a personal level, as if you were sitting here on the couch with me, like, gotta wake the fuck up, bro. You should be listening to me, questioning what I'm saying, evaluating what I'm saying, doing your own research, cross-referencing, figuring out if Luke's right. If Luke's right, okay, perfect, take his advice. If he's not right, okay, leave it. Crypto is super fucked right now. Like, guys, I'm telling you, it's fucked. And it's not fucked for 1 day, 2 days, a week. Dude, this shit is gonna have ripple effects for many years to come. So begin to build your strategy for the next bull run, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna be many years to come. I think we've been set back quite a ways. And even though I've completely liquidated from all of crypto, doesn't mean I won't be back. But when I'm back, you'll know. With that being said, subscribe if you haven't already, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna get back to my regular schedule. So be blessed, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.
And let me tell you that we are really changing